Okay, what's going on, everybody? We're here, we're alive. Thank you all for joining me today. Today is going to be, or at least right now, this is going to be a very quick stream, a lot faster than usual. So I'm going to skip the long-winded introduction that I normally give you guys. Just please hit the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel. If you're new to the channel, share this video out on your social media platforms, and all the good stuff that you already know to do already, because we've all been watching YouTube for long enough, right? Let's get into it. Like I said, it's going to be short. Breaking news, as many of you and most of you probably know already. Kamala Harris selected, I believe, it's Minnesota Governor Tim Walz as her vice presidential pick. She selected him as her VP pick to run with her on the Democratic ticket to go up against Joe Biden, to go up against Donald Trump and JD Vance. And what was interesting about her selecting him is this, right? The moment that I saw that news came down, on Twitter, I saw it. I said, well, let me go do a quick Google search just to get my little quick fact checking in, right? Just to make sure that he's the VP pick. And what was funny is this article was one of the first articles that popped up in my Google search, was this right here. Obviously, all the normal articles came up of breaking news. Tim Walz is the VP pick, right? He's the VP pick. But this article is actually from 2023. And it came up, one of the first articles that came up for Tim Walz when I put that Google search in. And it was just so fitting that article came up first. An article from 2023, which reads how Minnesota is becoming a laboratory in pushing progressive policy. I want to go through just a few lines here, a couple sentences in this article. And then I want to break down some of what's being said in here and how it compares to what we can expect to see in a Kamala Harris, Tim Walz presidency, right? So the article reads as such. Let me go over to it. Let me scroll down. And this is what it states concerning Kamala's VP pick. When Minnesota Democrats won back the majority in the state Senate, when Minnesota Democrats won back the majority in the state Senate last fall, they achieved the dream, a trifecta of control across the legislature and the governor's office. Why do I have that highlighted in blue? Typically, when I have something highlighted in blue, that means it's very important to me, right? I had that highlighted in blue because what people have to understand, and I've gone through this before in my past live streams, every Democrat president since Jimmy Carter has had a trifecta in their first 2 years in office. They've had a trifecta in their first 2 years of office, every one of them. The first 2 years that they get into office, from Carter, Clinton, Obama, Biden, they have all had a trifecta of controlling the president's seat, the House, and the Senate. And they're bringing this man in because in his home state of Minnesota, he is the king of pushing through progressive policies when having a trifecta. He is the king of this when having a trifecta. And that's why they're pushing him. They're putting him in this position to push these policies through. Now, understand, people talk about stuff like, George Floyd bill and voting rights acts and la, 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 la. He's not there to push any of that type of stuff. That's not what any of this is about. Maternal mortality rates and all this, blah, 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 blah. Forget all about that. Forget all about that. This is all about illegal immigration and the migrant crisis, and being able to push forth a mass amnesty bill, giving a fast track to citizenship for all illegal immigrants, so-called migrants in the country, as well as to push forth a massive funding effort to the cities where they are residing in, like Chicago and New York, so that they can accommodate for the illegal immigrants in those cities. And that's not because that's what I say. I reported on this yesterday. It's all right here in this article here. I'm not going to go through this article and read it. I've already done that in a previous video. But Elizabeth Warren calls for granting citizenship to illegal immigrants, says Harris will get it done. In an interview that Elizabeth Warren did, she stated very clearly that what we need to push forward is fast track citizenship and essentially an unlimited amount of resources and finances to the border, as well as to these cities harboring the illegal immigrants, like Chicago and New York. So if you thought the money that was going overseas was crazy, if you thought that money was crazy that was going overseas to the Middle East and to Europe, you haven't seen anything yet with the Harris-Walz presidency. You haven't seen anything yet. You're going to see millions upon billions of dollars, billions upon billions of dollars going to places like Chicago, New York, DC, Denver, LA, to house, accommodate, take care of, give all type of cash cards and vouchers to illegal immigrants, prioritizing them over the American citizens of those cities and states. I promise you that's what you're going to see. That's what you're going to see once she gets back in office and reopens the floodgates to illegal immigration. And we're going to see another 10 to 15 million cross that border if Harrison Walz gets in, while they subsidize it and give billions of dollars to all these cities to house and take care of these folks. That's what they brought him in for, right? Because he's clearly an expert and the king of being able to push through progressive policies while having a trifecta. And once again, from Jimmy Carter up until this moment in time, from Carter to Biden, every Democrat president has started out the first 2 years of their presidency with a trifecta. If they win and they start their first 2 years off with a trifecta, as traditionally happens, or I should say as historically happens, it's over. It's over. It's over. It's over. The article continues to read, but it's Minnesota that's attracting attention as a laboratory for how to effectively use that power to achieve progressive policy priorities. Interviews with dozens of federal and state lawmakers in Minnesota, as well as progressive activists in the state and across the country, paint a picture of a state fully controlled by Democrats that has offered protections on key Democratic social issues. And unlike in Michigan, another swing state where Democrats, also fresh off winning a trifecta, have leveraged that power to advance party priorities. The sheer breadth and quantity of policies already or soon to be enacted in Minnesota legislature presents a much more complete sample of Democratic ideals in the current moment, those officials and advocates said. So if you want a more clear picture of what the U.S. will look like under a Harris-Walz presidency, look no further than Minnesota. Let me play this video for you here. When I believe it's either this year, the top of this year, or sometime last year, top of last year, when Tim Walz signed into law that non-citizens, air quotes, we all know what that is, that non-citizens, just to be, that non-citizens can receive their driver's license in Minnesota. Check this out.
It's done.
A packed room at the St. Paul Armory erupted after the governor's signature made driver's license for all the law of the land.
If it's driver's license for all, how come everybody's speaking Spanish at the end? What were they saying when they got cut off? CISA what? Huh? What are they saying?
Land.
Okay, so who are these driver's licenses for? When they're saying driver's license for all, the citizens, we already have access to driver's license. When you say driver's license for all, what are you talking about? He's talking about driver's license for illegal immigrants. That's what he's talking about, right? So he is one of these type of governors like J.B. Pritzker, who already put in place and into law non-citizen policing and non-citizens receiving their driver's license as well in Illinois. And I want to repeat that again. In Illinois, in the state of Illinois, J.B. Pritzker signed into law, and he was somebody that people were suspecting may possibly be on the VP ticket, but he wasn't selected. But J.B. Pritzker in Illinois, he put into law non-citizen policings. Non-citizens can become police officers in Illinois, just like they can become police officers in Los Angeles, just like they can vote in Los Angeles local elections. They can't vote in Illinois just yet, but that's what's coming. And this is the side of things that Tim Walz is on. That's the side of things he's on, and that's why he was selected. It's not so much to help her win the election. I do think this is going to be a close one, and it's for if they're able to sneak past Trump advance. They know that they have a host of very unpopular policies that they're going to push and aggressively move forward. And Tim Walz is the guy to assist them with that, because he is the king of that, as per this 2023 article that I just went through very briefly. Now, I didn't leave the link to the article in the description box below as I normally do, but I will do that after the stream is over, which is pretty much right now. But here is the title of it as well, if you just want to go ahead and look at it, as opposed to waiting for me to leave the link, right? How Minnesota is becoming a laboratory in pushing progressive policies. More illegal immigration, more crime on the way. Shout out to my man, the traveling man, for coming through with the super chat. He said, spending our reparations on immigrants, then tell us reparations will bankrupt America. Well, when Joe Biden was asked, do I have that saved on here? Democrats always tell you what they're going to do, don't they? They always tell you what they're going to do. Here it goes right here. I'll play this in closing. When Joe Biden was asked a very direct question about reparations, he told you that he was going to give your reparations to illegal immigrants. And I'll be darned if they already did, and they're going to continue doing that. Let's watch this in closing. This is a classic right here.
Vice President Biden, do you support reparations?
Look, let me, since I haven't spoken on this, got a chance. Number one, the reason we're the country we are is because of immigration. We've been able to cherry pick the best from every single continent. The people who come here have determination, resilience. They are ready to stand up and work like the devil. We have 24 out of every 100 children in our school today is Hispanic. The idea that we are going to walk away and not provide every opportunity for them is not only stupid and immoral, but it's bad for America. They are the future of America, and we should invest in them. Everybody will benefit from it, every single American, and you should get used to it. This is a nation of immigrants. That's who we are. That's why we're who we are. That's what makes us different, and we should invest in them.
Thank you, Mr. Biden. Senator Klobuchar, you had your hand up.
Get used to it. He told you. He told you. He told you. He told you. Black folks said, hey, what you think about reparations, Joe Biden? He said, this is a nation of immigrants, so get used to it. I'm giving your money to them, so get used to it. And that's what we've witnessed. That's what we've seen so far. We've been seeing billions of dollars funding the migrant crisis to put them up in housing while American citizens like yourself remain homeless in the street. We've seen this done in the People's Republic of Chicago with Emperor Brandon Johnson. And I'll tell you this much. I really wish I had this video ready to roll. And I apologize for not having it. I will look for it. I think I have it on my I have a saved like bookmark on Twitter. I believe I have a saved bookmark on Twitter somewhere. But please let me know if you guys have seen this. It was a video that came out of Brandon Johnson. He was at some sort of a rally that he held. You know, it was like maybe 3 weeks ago. There was a woman, an American citizen, woman that walked up to him, a black woman, and she said, hey, you're funding this migrant crisis. These migrants, they're getting all this money and blah, 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 blah. What about us? What about the citizens? And she pulled out, I think it was like a gas bill of some sort. And she said, this gas bill is, I don't know, like $800. She said some enormous amount of money. I think it might have been more than $800. It might have been like $1,000 or so. It was some enormous gas bill that she had. And she said, when are you going to take care of, our bills? When are you going to take care of this? Brandon Johnson laughed in her face. She had the bill in her hand. She said, when are you going to take care of the citizens? When are you going to take care of our bills? And when are you going to help us? And she made reference to her bill as when are you going to take. Oh, I wish I had the video queued up. And I promise I'll find it for you guys next time I go live. She said something to the sort of, when are you going to take care of all of our bills? He looked at her and laughed in her face. And he was like, and he said, he looked at the people that he was with and he said, take care of all her bills and walked off. I kid you not. I promise to God on everything I love. This man laughed in her face. Brandon Johnson laughed in that woman's face when she said, when are you going to take care of us? When are you going to take care of the citizens of this city? You're taking care of the migrants and not us. He laughed in that woman's face and walked off. I'm going to find that video and I'm going to play it for you guys in the next stream. So I'm not just making stuff up, but that's what's to come. That's what's to come. So like I always say, a vote for Kamala Harris is a vote for illegal immigration. A vote for Kamala Harris is a vote for illegal immigration. And I'm also going to say this as well. A vote for the couch is a vote for illegal immigration. Oh, I know that made some of you mad, but I'm going to tell you this much. If you live in those battleground states, if you live in those swing states, and you said, hey, you know what? I'm sitting this one out. You can do that. But when Kamala Harris wins, and I start reporting on all of the billions of dollars in money and funding that's going towards the migrant crisis and not to the citizens of the city that you live in, when I start reporting on how Brandon Johnson is pushing and prioritizing and placing more so-called migrants in these Black neighborhoods on the South and West Side, funding their housing, putting them in housing in your neighborhood, while the residents of your city, of your neighborhood on the South and West Side, those homeless remain in the street. When I report on that, and you hop in my comment section talking about what is and isn't fair, I'm going to remind you about that couch. And y'all going to hate me because I'm going to be petty about it. I promise you I'm going to be petty about it. And I'm going to be petty out of love. It's not because I hate you, but I'm going to be petty because I love you. And I'm going to tell you, I told you. I laid it all out to you in so many videos, so many times over. I told you what Harris and Walz were going to do. They told you what they were going to do. And when you come in my comment section complaining about how this isn't fair, how that isn't fair, oh my God, look at all the money that's going to the migrants. What about the people in Chicago? Or what about I'm going to look at you in this camera. I'm going to say, but isn't that couch comfortable though? Okay. So I'm going to leave it at that. And I'm gonna be trolling like crazy, Kiko. I'm gonna be trolling like crazy, okay? But I gotta head out of here, guys. You have a great one. And shout out to, I didn't forget you. I apologize to those of you who gave super chats in yesterday's stream and I didn't get to you guys. I'm so sorry. But shout out to you all that showed up in yesterday's stream. And shout out to Famously Blacker for coming through. I appreciate you, Famously Blacker. You always bless me and show big love whenever you support the channel. Thank you, Famously Blacker, who said, love your platform. Keep sharing truth. I definitely will do that. I will catch you guys later. This live stream is going to redirect into a video premiere that I have at, I forgot what time, but it's like I think 3 o'clock or something like that. I don't know. Anyways, more videos are coming on this channel. Blah, 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 blah. I got another live stream that I'm going to do later on this evening. Blah, 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 blah. Just make sure you subscribe, have the notifications on, and follow me on Telegram. Okay. Make sure you follow me on Telegram so you'll get those notifications and blah, 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 blah. Okay. Have a great one. And shout out to my man in closing, Kiko with the buzzer beater. I appreciate you. Swish at the buzzer. Kiko 410 said, TD, I wish I saw what that emoji said. I'm gonna assume you said TD the GOAT. That's what I'm gonna assume you said, Kiko. I'm gonna assume you said TD the GOAT. I'll take that. I think I am the GOAT. I think I just might be. I think I just might be. I'll holler at y'all later, man. Have a great afternoon. Peace. Have a good one.